Good morning. Hi, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome to this week's Duchenne Method Mind-Body Alignment class. I am delighted to see you here. And if you are here, you might want to say hello in the comments. Let me know that you're here. I see that there's a few of you here already. Well, hello, good morning, Leanne. Wonderful to have you here. Hello, Sophia. Good morning. Wonderful to have you here. Well, I have a very exciting class prepared for you all today. Good morning, Elise. Wonderful to see you, or, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. And so here we are this week, again, meeting for the Duchenne Method live stream. This is where I attempt to demystify the mind-body connection in order for you to use these tools in your own life to obtain optimal health, because I truly believe that we can attain optimal health. The more we listen to our bodies, the more we tap in to our body felt senses, the more attuned we become in understanding, in feeling, in being aware of what is off or what is on in our bodies. So, this is really a course in developing more attunement, becoming more present and alive in our bodies so that we might use our own pharmacology, right? Our own internal laboratories to heal ourselves. Good morning, Pranjal. So good that you're here. Good morning from Italy. Good morning, Michelle. I'm so glad that you are all here. Thank you for joining me this morning. So without further ado, I actually am going to start by sharing an image with you because we're talking about the vagus nerve, right? Last week, in my newsletter last week, I invited you to explore 5 steps to help you understand how the vagus nerve works. And today, we're going to take a deeper dive into these 5 steps. So the first thing I'm going to do this morning is I'm going to share a picture with you of our beautiful vagus nerve. So hopefully you can see this. And Nelson, if there's any way that I can maybe remove my background and have this image be the whole image. I'm not sure. Let's see. I wonder if you can you hear me now? Maybe because I took the background off. Can you hear me now? Let me put a little note here. Can you hear me now? I don't know what happened. Sound is back. Okay. So I think it's because I deleted my background. So I'm just going to leave it like this. Okay. Awesome. Thanks, Michelle. Thanks, Elise. I appreciate that. Okay. So you can see the image, correct? Let me know if you cannot see the image. I want you to see this image. This is what we're going to be looking at instead of me this morning. And I'm going to leave it on for a little bit so that you can really integrate this image of our vagus nerve. Now, this image is the yellow diagram, the yellow nerve that you are seeing moving down either side of your body, right? So you recognize here that this is a frontal image. We are looking at each other from the face, from the front. So imagine you're looking at me from the front, but it's not me, it's this image of my vagus nerve. And so take a moment to integrate this. As I am sharing information with you, I'm going to leave this image up so you can follow the image as we go. Okay, I think Nelson has been able to remove the background. Let me know if you cannot hear me again. Hopefully you can still hear me. If you can hear me, just write yes. I just want to make sure that you can hear me. If you can hear me, just write yes in the comments. Let's see. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Let me know with a yes if you can hear me. I'm not getting any yeses, so I'm guessing people are not hearing me. Nelson, can you hear me? Yes. Okay, cool. Thank you, Leanne. I got my answer. All right, my friends. So here we are starting. Thank you, Sophia. We're starting with this image of our beautiful vagus nerve. And so you have your brain. And then right under the brain, do you see there that is a little section called the pons, P-O-N-S. The pons is part of your brain stem. And this piece is the piece that links your brain to your spinal cord. Okay, so that's an important little component here. Okay, so here we go. What is the vagus nerve, my friends? Well, the vagus nerve, as you can see, is like a superhighway that connects your brain to many important parts of your body, including your heart, lungs, and digestive system. The vagus nerve is the 10th cranial nerve, and it originates from the brainstem. So you can see the pons there, right? This is where your vagus nerve stems from. It is the biggest and longest nerve in the parasympathetic nervous system. This is your rest and digest nervous system. We've talked about the parasympathetic and sympathetic nervous system many times. And most importantly, this is the most important nerve in your cranial nerve system. Now, being the 10th cranial nerve, it has an extensive reach, as you can see, throughout your entire body, making it highly influential in regulating numerous vital functions. And here is a super interesting fact. Listen up. This is everything. This is why I talk about your gut being your second brain. A very, very interesting fact about the vagus nerve is that about 80% of those fibers are afferent, which means they go from the body to the brain, from the body to the brain, the body-mind connection. Only 20% go from your brain to your body. So essentially, your vagus nerve is constantly reading your gut. It's constantly reading your heart and your throat. It's reading our systems in such a way so that if you can calm your breathing and calm your throat, for example, by using vibration, it stimulates your vagus nerve and lets your brain know that, hey, everything is okay. Now, the word vagus actually means wandering in Latin, because as you can see, this nerve has many branches that go all over the place. Think of the vagus nerve as a messenger that carries information back and forth between your brain and different organs. The vagus nerve helps to regulate and control these important functions, such as your heart rate, your breathing, digestion, and your emotions. So, for example, if you feel stressed or anxious, and I want to say here for those of you who suffer from anxiety, Many of us suffer from some level of anxiety in our lives. I want you to know that it is absolutely possible to heal yourself fully from anxiety. And using your vagus nerve, stimulating your vagus nerve, is one of the most effective ways to control anxiety. So, with the vagus nerve, right, breathing can help you calm down. This will help you to slow down your heart rate and even lower your blood pressure. So, this magnificent nerve is super important in self regulation. This is tool number one to assist you in calming yourself in all types of situations that might bring up anxiety in your life. Okay, so that's your vagus nerve in a nutshell. Step number two that I mentioned in my newsletter last week was, well, how does it work, right? How do we regulate, how do we stimulate our vagus nerve to assist us in controlling, in managing ourselves more effectively? Well, I just said it, to start by taking a deep breath and to just really learn how to chill out. Not that easy for us, especially in North America, in the United States. We work a lot. We are always on this treadmill of having to do more. And in a sense, when you go into releasing and being with your breath to calm down, you instantly start to heal your entire vagus nerve highway. Now, you can see the benefits from this image, right? It's going throughout all of your organs. So, breath now becomes even more significant. And your vagus nerve is a master of relaxation. As you can see, it runs down the side of your throat, which is why chanting, singing, anything that creates a vibration in your voice box, your larynx, will calm your vagus nerve. That's why when we sing, when we come out of that choir practice, we feel so good because the vagus nerve is getting stimulated. Taking slow, deep breaths will immediately activate it. And that is why you feel the deep calming effects of slow, intentional breathing. It works every single time. It's like pressing the reset button on your stress levels every time. So, I'd like to do a little exercise with you to stimulate your vagus nerve. And I'm going to remove the image for a moment. Let's see. There we go. Thank you, Nelson. And so we're going to do a little practice together, and we're going to stimulate our vagus nerve and help us to calm down. So, you know that in many spiritual practices with meditation and other practices, that the sound om, om, is used in many meditation practices. And that is because it calms down your vagus nerve, or in this case, it actually stimulates your vagus nerve. And when you stimulate your vagus nerve, it helps to calm down your nervous system. So we're going to do that together right now. So get comfy, and we're going to chant. We're going to chant Om 3 times, and you might have done this many times in your life. The reason I want to do it with you here now is because when you have a little bit more information around how our vagus nerve can be stimulated, a little bit more information actually assists us in going deeper into our practice. Now you know, you can visualize, right? You can visualize this beautiful vagus nerve being stimulated and calming down your entire system, all of your organs. So, you ready? We're going to sing Om 3 times. You're going to take a deep inhalation through your nose first. I like to close my eyes, and here we go. Oh. Breathe in through the nose. Breathe in through the nose. You can go lower if you want. And breathe naturally. Just take a moment and just notice if you feel calmer. I do. And so you can hear the vibrato in my voice as I was doing it, and you might not have had the same amount of length into oming. That's fine. The more you practice, the longer you will be able to practice this Om sound, which creates an incredible vibration throughout your entire system. And that is one of the ways to stimulate your vagus nerve. So write in the comments if you're feeling calmer. Did it work? Were you able to stimulate your vagus nerve where you're feeling more present just by doing Om 3 times? How simple it is to bring ourselves back to a space of center in our bodies. So let me know if you feel more relaxed, if you feel more grounded in your system from doing this simple exercise. Yeah. So Pranjal writes, much calmer. Thank you. Michelle wrote, love this. Yes. And it's so wonderful to be able to do it together, isn't it? There's another component to it, is that as we're here together, practicing together in the moment, it's so much more powerful. Sophia shares, yes, I feel more relaxed. Ah, beautiful, Leanne. Leanne writes, inner peace, tears happened. Yes, Leanne, because when we stimulate our vagus nerve, it helps us to get in contact with our emotions. Elise writes, my belly is so relaxed. Thank you for doing this with me. Simple, effective, immediate tools to assist us in managing anxiety levels. So you can clearly do this anywhere at any time. And the more you do it, the longer you will be able to practice sustaining your breath for longer periods of time. Awesome. Thank you for doing that with me. So another way that we can stimulate our vagus nerve is to trust your gut feelings. I already shared with you that 80% of the fibers in your vagus nerve are afferent, which means they move from your body to your brain. Only 20% move from the brain to your body. So do you see now, with a little bit more information, do you see how important it is to listen to our guts? And that is another way that we get to deepen a relationship with ourselves. We get to become more intimate with ourselves by listening to our gut feelings. This has a lot to do with a healthy digestive system, right? So your vagus nerve carries this information back and forth from your brain to your organs and vice versa. And in this way gives you important information about your digestive system, which includes your stomach, your intestines, and your other organs like liver and your pancreas. Oh my God, such a beautiful organ. We'll do a class on that another day. So, a lot of people, right? You've heard this, trust your gut. Well, why? Why trust your gut? You might not know why exactly, but you can certainly feel it. You can feel it when you meet someone for the first time. If this person connects with you, if there's a vibration, if there's a relation. So, we really want to tap into our guts because this is a very popular area where we carry the memories of past traumas. And that's because the innervation in our guts, in our intestine, is so intense. That is because of our vagus nerve really lives deeply in our gut. So when you're experiencing anxiety, pain, or worry, it can be a result of past traumas that show up due to you being triggered in some way. So when you're triggered, notice you will usually feel it in your gut. The chest, the gut, the heart area is very popular. So the vagus nerve is right there to alert you that something is off in your body. And this is why it's so important to get into attunement with your gut so that you might become your own best doctor and trust your body to tell you when something is not right. We have so many tools ourselves to diagnose how we're feeling, especially on a daily basis. I believe that allopathic medicine is super important, right? Our medical system is super important. But for everyday management of your emotions, I will go to my vagus nerve. I will listen to my body. And I've shown you this many, many times where I've put my hand on my heart and belly to tap into my body and to feel what I'm feeling. If you have a sudden burst of sadness or anxiety, tap into your body now that you can see the parameters of your vagus nerve, now that you see how deeply they connect. And I'm going to put it back up. Nelson, let's put the vagus nerve image back up. It's just a beautiful image, and it helps us to cement our relationship with how it moves throughout our body. Thank you. All right, my friends, so just keep looking at that vagus nerve. And here's an important other component of how we can stimulate your vagus nerve. Hug it out. Hugs. We can heal ourselves from past traumas via the vagus nerve, and we do it by hugging it out. The vagus nerve loves hugs. When you hug someone tightly, it stimulates the nerve and releases feel-good chemicals in your brain. So that's why it's so important to hug your children as much as you can for as long as they'll let you. When you hug your children, you are communicating safety, love, security, balance, personal confidence, self-esteem, and connection. And this is true with adults as well, of course, but for many adults, we've fallen out of hugging. I don't know why, right? Hugging with gusto is not very popular in American culture. We tend to be intellectually driven and might even go as far as calling hugging too touchy-feely. And I believe that this is where the problem lies. If you have a hard time with hugging or touching in general, I want to invite you to try to train yourself to receive body work on a regular basis, because body work will really help you to connect with sensation with your body. So if you're not into hugging, at least train yourself to start to get specific type of body work. Certainly the work that I do is helpful. You can get some massage. You can also receive biodynamic craniosacral, really beautiful technique. Actually, Elise, who is on our call with us today, Elise, say hi again. actually is a practitioner of biodynamic craniosacral, and it is such an incredibly soothing methodology to assist us in stimulating our vagus nerve. So, if you're being touched in a safe and secure way, this will do miracles for your vagus nerve and, of course, for your nervous system overall. So, I want to encourage you to hug one another. Hug your parents, hug your partner, hug your friends. Make hugging something that becomes more regular in your life and not a weird thing. All right, Nelson, let's remove the image. I think we've had a good sense of it, right? So you're feeling connected to this vagus nerve, right? You can easily Google the vagus nerve. Leanne is asking, maybe put up the question, Nelson. Leanne asks us, is it okay to hug when we are feeling overwhelmed? I tend to not do it, to not pass on bad energy. Ah, what a great question. So this is really interesting. Nelson, keep the question up there for a moment so people can really see it. Thank you, love. So is it okay to hug when we are feeling overwhelmed? In fact, it's not only okay, it is highly encouraged to hug when you are feeling overwhelmed. Now, I want to underline something very important here by what Leanne is asking. You see where she goes. She says, I tend not to do it because she doesn't want to pass on her bad energy. This gives us some important insight into how Leanne thinks, her belief systems. And thank you, Leanne, because this is so important, such a great teaching tool for all of us. Now, first of all, you can never pass on your bad energy or your bad feelings when you are aware of them, because you are not doing that, right? You're going for a hug because you need comfort, you need love, not the other way around. You're not coming to a person for a hug because you want to pass on your bad energy. So first of all, really know this in your heart. You are seeking support and a hug from someone else because you are feeling overwhelmed, right? So you want to be healed. You want to be loved. When we approach a hug or a request, you can request someone, your son, maybe you can say, tell your son, hey, honey, mommy needs a hug because I feel sad today. So that will soothe you. And you are also allowing the other person to heal you, which is a wonderful feeling for another person. So never think that you are going to bring on your negative energy onto someone else because you're aware of it. That is not the goal here. The goal is to allow someone else to come in and hug you to help you feel better. Thank you, Nelson. We can remove the question now. So, Leanne, does this make sense? So, yes, allowing someone else to give to you. Yes, Elise, thank you. So, in this way, I want you to think in maybe a little bit more of a selfish way, which is not really selfish, but I'm going to word it this way, right? Because when we're afraid that we are going to infect another with our bad energy, that happens if we consciously want to do that. But if we are feeling bad, low energy, and we need someone to care for us, actually, when you're asking someone to hug you and to hold you, you are actually doing them a favor because they get to express love towards you. Does that make sense? Yes, she says. Thanks a lot. So if you're feeling bad, of course, you want to reach out to someone that you love, that you trust, not just anyone on the street, right? We want to be hugged by someone that is safe, that we know. But my friends, please, don't be afraid to ask for a hug. Don't be afraid to ask for love. Where did we go off where asking for love and support has become something selfish? Where did we go off the path? Asking for love and support and hugs is one of the most beautiful gifts you can do to another, for another. Yeah, Leanne says, I never thought of it that way. Thanks. Exactly. So this is what I mean. When we have these classes, we've had classes around our belief systems. Do you see how powerful your belief systems are? If you're not part of a group like this, if you're not having this type of conversation, your beliefs will take over and you will become your beliefs. And the actual proof of it is that Leanne hadn't thought about it this way. She was worried about imposing her bad energy upon another. That's a belief that was taught to you, Leanne, from somewhere in your childhood. And now, because we're together exploring all this mind body connection together, there's an opportunity for you to shift the way you think. That is the power of this body mind connection. What a great question. Thank you, Leanne. So please ask for hugs, ask for help, reach out for support. Sometimes we need support. You can text a friend, let them know, I'm not feeling so good today. I need a few words of support. I need to know that I'm loved. There's nothing healthier than to reach out. I know it's not usual, but I promise you, this is the way to self-help, to self-healing. We need to be able to ask for support. It actually strengthens all of us. Michelle writes, community is such a powerful mirror for growth and love. Yes, Michelle, thank you. This is why I love to do community work. Together, we can do so much more. We can heal so much faster because you're not alone. Don't you feel that if you're here, I mean, how many of you can relate to what I said about not wanting to ask for a hug or not wanting to disturb someone by asking them to support us? Most of us go through this. We feel we should handle it alone, that we should carry the weight by ourselves. Nothing could be further from the truth. I invite you here to really share, to really communicate, to support one another. That's the whole point of why I do these lives every Monday. Yes, in community, we heal so much quicker. And finally, my friends, how do you stimulate your vagus nerve? Well, the one I'm always talking about, movement. You have to move. Movement and exercise, whether it's dancing, jogging, yoga, any type of physical activity activates your nerve. It promotes better mood, digestion, and of course, overall health. Movement stimulates your vagus nerve and it provides several benefits because physical activity activates various mechanisms that enhance vagal tone. Vagal tone, my friends, that refers to the activity level of the vagus nerve. So it's like building muscle. The more you lift weights, the more you're going to build muscle. The more you move, the more vagal tone you will create. So with higher vagal tone, that is associated with better regulation and balance in your body. So movement will enhance relaxation. It will improve your digestion. You will develop a better heart rate with more movement. And of course, enhanced emotional well-being. Movement is the key to having a healthy body mind. So every day, I say this a lot, you'll go for your 30 or 20 or 30-minute walk and then do a little bit more. Go a little bit further. Tax your system a little bit beyond its comfort zone, if you can, because this helps to tonify your vagus nerve. It gets your vagus nerve in shape. I hope that this is helpful. If you have any comments, any questions, any feedback, you can write it in the comments right now. So essentially, I am launching a 4-month online program. It starts in September 6th through December 20th. It's 4 months. And what are we going to do in this program? We're going to stimulate your vagus nerve. we are going to come together as a group. It's online, but live. So we are actually going to be in class together. You are going to be in a Zoom class with me. So we get to see one another, because building compassion through community is part of one of the modules of the 4 months. So we come together in community in Zoom. So it's not like this. We actually get to see one another and we communicate with one another. You have an online dashboard, an online portal with assignments that I give you every week. And then there are videos that go along with that every week. And we meet every week, every Wednesday from 2 to 4 p.m. Eastern time. And if you can't make it live, there's of course a recording. Now, in addition to this, if you can't make the 2 to 4 on Wednesdays with me every week, don't worry. You have the recording. But in addition to this, I am offering 3 additional coaching sessions throughout the week in case you miss the class. So I think it's on Tuesday nights, on Saturday morning, and Sunday afternoon. Every Tuesday night or Thursday night, Saturday morning, and Sunday afternoon, there are 3 additional coaching groups that are going to be led by one of my guides, one of the coaches who went through the Duchenne Method coaching training program. So you have a lot of options to connect with others, but also to deepen the curriculum. So this starts September 6th, and I have an early bird special that expires on July 24th. So you still have time, but I really invite you to consider joining this program. We are going to really get deeper into embodiment techniques. So there will be specific mind-body connection techniques that I will be teaching you. You're going to learn more about mind-body alignment overall through embodiment, through physical somatic practices. We are going to do it through the art of mindful communication, using nonviolent language and developing a more mindful approach to communication. We are also going to be exploring deepening our relationship with how to communicate with others in a community. And I do this by addressing some very specific techniques of compassion. How do we enhance our hearts of compassion in order to better communicate with ourselves first and foremost, and then with others? So Nelson, if you can put the link, please, on the screen so people know where to go. It's my website, artofalignmentacademy.com/mind body alignment program. But if you just go to artofalignmentacademy.com, at the very top, you're going to see a little button there. Just click on the program, take a look at it. If you have any questions, I'm here. I'm going to be doing a few webinars about it over the next few weeks, so you can join in on those as well, where I will be going deeper into explaining what the program is about. And finally, the reason I'm doing a 4-month online program is because it takes 4 months. It takes a chunk of time to really get to practice and integrate these week after week. I'm also doing it towards the end of the year, September through December, so that you can end your year super strong, super grounded, super aligned. And these are tools, of course, that you can use forever. We integrate them all the time. So I invite you to take a look at it. I really hope that you'll join us. I'm clearly super excited about it. It's the first online program of this kind that I have done. It's not the last, but it's the first. So if you want to be part of a really exciting cohort of people who are on the same wavelength as you are, who are really looking to deepen their relationship with their bodies, with their hearts, with their minds, and also to raise our level of consciousness, decrease anxiety, decrease worry, and create a new possibility for yourself, create a new life for yourself where you are moving through it, that you are sailing through your life instead of fighting, instead of being in the fight flight all the time. So I invite you to take a look at my online program. I really hope that you'll join us. Thank you for being here today. I can't wait to see you next week. Please, if you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please subscribe, give me a like, write a comment. It really helps the algorithms to expand, to put me out in the world more effectively. Much love to all. Bye, everyone. See you next week.